Hello Lions Bay, happy Victoria Long Weekend. It pleases me greatly to introduce three new families who just moved to Lions Bay. New to Bayview Road is Asan and Hilary Monferred and their 2-year-old daughter, Laylee. Asan is an aviation lawyer and Hilary is a transportation engineer. Asan is also a proficient volleyballer and he is keen to come out on Mondays, and we look forward to seeing him when volleyball resumes. Asan and Hilary arrived in March when the lockdown started, but they say that they enjoy the gorgeous surroundings during this period of isolation. They look forward to becoming active members of our community. Moving to Mountain Drive in April were Peter and Regina Markland, and their children Finn, who is 6, and Anya, who will shortly turn 5. They moved from Pennsylvania to North Vancouver in 2016 and have earlier this year obtained a permanent residency. Lions Bay has always held an interest for them as the family enjoys outdoors and the water. The kids will attend the community school and have already been enrolled virtually and are now taking lessons with Mrs. Mendez. We hope they all can join their new friends and classmates in school in September. This one's dear to my heart. Once a villager, always a villager is returning resident Andrea Kopp. She is returning home to Lower Ocean View to live happily ever after. In fact, she's back in Lions Bay, living right next door to where she was born. Andrea is the daughter of Suzanne Kopp and younger sister to Nicholas. Andrea has 3 adult children and a delightful granddaughter. In her own words, Andrea has gone full circle and glad to be back in heavenly Lions Bay, her always home. On behalf of all of us, I welcome these new neighbors and friends to the village. I have referred them to our new resident greeter and make you welcome hostess Ann Crosswaite, who will ensure they are quickly connected to us. I'm always impressed when residents create something out of an idea and move from vision to execution. There are 6 outstanding villagers I'd like to recognize for doing just that. I'd like to acknowledge Rob Peebles, who painstakingly carved a significant path on a steep slope that was covered by roots, rocks, trees, and brambles. I would have used dynamite, Agent Orange, and a tracked vehicle to accomplish the same thing that Rob did by hand by himself. This route connects Periwinkle and Sweetwater Place and is regularly used. In my official capacity, as of this day forward, I am naming this path Peebles Passage. I've asked the tree committee to sign both ends appropriately, and I look forward to attending the ribbon cutting ceremony and saying thank you to Rob in person. 7 years ago, John and Sandy Reindeer spent a whole spring and summer cleaning up the Aaron Moore Trail. They are back with a commitment that is the hallmark of John Dudley's Trailblazers. They recently spent 9 straight 7-hour days working on the trail. After a few days break, they are hard at it again and have put in 4 more days and counting. This particular trail is dear to our hearts. To Trailblazers John and Sandy, thank you for your extraordinary effort. Early on in the pandemic, stores were running low on most things, particularly in the baking aisle. Some of us had just returned home to be safe and were in self-isolation, and many, quite frankly, were simply afraid to leave our homes. Leslie Nolan put the combination of what can I do to help, what do people need and want, how do I get it, and her natural talents to work. This resulted in Leslie and her very talented pastry chef daughter Sydney baking bread for trade. The simple mechanics are that you bring produce, confectionery, or other items in exchange for one of their wide variety of freshly baked loaves. Increasing weekly since she started, Leslie and Sydney now bake 30 loaves a week, or 170 so far. Leslie still has capacity if you want to participate. This little community service brings a lot of smiles to our dining tables. Thank you, Leslie and Sydney. I'd also like to recognize the food truck queen, Stephanie Beatty. An idea like, wouldn't it be nice to have one here, and putting last-minute obstacles aside, led to Thai night. 235 meals were served, and a unique to Lions Bay experience was enjoyed by many. Not to rest on her laurels, Stephanie is guiding other food truck opportunities for this summer. Thank you, Stephanie. Please contact her if you want to participate. These days, I seem to spend as much time on casual visitors to the village as I do on COVID-19 issues, getting TransLink service reinstated, or making Lions Bay a better place to live. Some casual visitors to the village engage in activities we prefer they would not. We have never worked harder to discourage them. Our strategy has been to limit parking and enforce it to the best of our abilities. On rainy days, this is working. On sunny weekend days, it is more challenging. Residents in the highly affected areas feel frustrated, helpless, angry, and that their voices are not heard. Our efforts to date are not working as effectively as we would like. I'm not pleased to state the obvious. We continue to have parking and casual visitor problems. As things don't improve by themselves, it's time to consider taking penalties and enforcements to the next level. At Tuesday's council meeting, I have raised points for discussion that would consider increasing our bylaw fines and to consider more aggressively towing. I'll keep you apprised as to how we're progressing. There is information you need to know and understand about the issues our bylaw officers face and the role of the RCMP, safety and risk concerns, and what we can and can't do. I've asked CAO Peter DeJong to apprise you of this, and his article follows. Please take the time to read it in detail. Enjoy the long weekend, take good care, and may all of you remain safe and in good health.